Hey guys, welcome to another video, and today we're going to be reviewing Sonic Highways by the Foo Fighters. This album has been praised as being very disappointing and all around just a bad album. But I'm here to review that, and I've had listened to all tracks. So yeah. Sonic Highways is the 8th studio album of the Foo Fighters, which is one of my personal favorite bands of all time. So for each song they recorded around the world. One was in Chicago, one was in Washington D.C., Seattle, New York, etc. And I like the storyline it has behind it, and I adore the way it was recorded, but something just didn't seem right. It just wasn't there for the Foo Fighters, and we're gonna go over that. Okay, so the first track we have here is "Something from Nothing." I've actually found this track really good, actually. I found it to be one of the best. Something from Nothing was, well, I don't want to call this album Nothing because it was pretty good. It was pretty decent. But we'll get into that at the end of this video. There's a lot of tracks on here that can be found repetitive, a little bland, but there were just these treasures in the album that some listeners enjoyed and some listeners didn't, like Something from Nothing, The Feast and the Famine, and I Am a River. So yeah, all in all, Sonic Highways is not a bad album. It's just a really disappointing one compared to Wasting Light, which they previously released in 2011, which got a lot of great reviews. So it was more of the anticipation more than the actual content, which I did find a little repetitive, but not as to give it say it's a bad album. But it is very disappointing. A very disappointing album compared to Wasting Light. But I don't think I would say this album is a bad one, because there's a lot of great tracks on here that save it from being that just crap album, like the previous ones I mentioned. There's we have the Feast and the Famine, which is really, it's more of an aggressive album, or one of the more aggressive albums on here, and I enjoyed it too. I enjoyed some of these songs. Some of these songs I was a little iffy about about being a little repetitive. Not real much to enjoy from these songs like that. Not like Feast of the Famine, but it really, I say the real weak point of this album would be the middle, which I really didn't enjoy. So I do enjoy how the way this was really recorded. I think Foo Fighters is, in my opinion, a unique band. Some of their songs can be a little repetitive. A lot of people criticize them about that. And I just don't see them. I mean, I see a couple songs be repetitive, but I don't see the overall band being repetitive at all. But Sonic Highways does have a lot of flaws. It's not my favorite album by them, and it's, well, not the worst. When you look at the old, when you really look back at this album, you see classics like Something from Nothing and I'm a River. You know, you see classics like those, and you say, this isn't a bad album. But that's when it really kicks in that, whoa, guess the album that came before this is Wasting Light. So there was really high anticipation for this album, and it turned out being, the anticipation was so high that it turned out being a very disappointing album. So I think that's one of the problems on this album is it being repetitive. I would agree, it is somewhat repetitive. And some of the songs on here are really bland. That's another flaw. But overall, I don't find this album sickening, bad, horrendous. I just find it very disappointing. But it's an album I can listen front to end, and I can somewhat enjoy. So yeah, if I had to give this album a rating, I would give it a 6 out of 10. I know a lot of you are probably wondering why you giving it such a high and why you giving it such low. Well, there are definite flaws. There are definite flaws on this album. But I think it's not to the fact that it's a bad album or horrendous. I just find it very average and really average for the Foo Fighters, which make great music, especially in this current day. But I think they could have done a little bit better with this album. Definitely better. And I thought they would have topped Wasting Light, because Wasting Light is a great album. But I was hoping that this album would be better. Unfortunately, it wasn't. But I still think it's a good album. Would I suggest it? Yes, I would. I would suggest this album. Would I suggest it to a casual listener? No, not really. I will let you listen in to the mainstream, most popular albums by them, like The Color and the Shape, There's Nothing Left to Lose, and Wasting Light. But I just find this album pretty average, and that's why I give it a 6 out of 10. So, yeah. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and bye.